let's go ahead and get things tuned up this morning. A little bit rough start this morning, but that's okay. That's okay. That's what we're here for. We're here for a little bit of a wake-up call. At least that's kind of what I'm telling myself. Good morning. And good morning, Mark. Good morning, Mr. Fish. Good morning, M. Fish. Glad to see you and you. And oh, A is right on the money this morning. It's great to see. Great to see you. Great to see you, Mark. Great to see you, Mr. Fish. Michael. Oh, before we get started, I wanted to make a reference. Why don't I go ahead and get the? Why don't I go ahead and just get that that link set up for now, just so we can get that sort of just going, just real quick. Like, let's see, because it is. What am I doing here? Good. There it is. All right. Oh, let's see what we've got going on. Just a walk through the park this morning. Just a little walk through the park. Let's go ahead and turn that down. Here is the free sign up. It's a chance to win a free guitar session. And you know, it's kind of fun if you're into that kind of thing, if you're into sort of, you know, actually doing the thing. This is what you want to do right here. This is what you want to do right here. I'm going to pin it. I think I'm going to pin it. I did. I pinned it. I figured it out. So just working on just practicing the guitar. Well, not really practicing the guitar yet, but working on tuning up the guitar first thing this morning. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start walking through the normal routine of passing through the warm-up session. The warm-up session to me is a little bit like, you know, getting that pre-stretch done before your run or your exercise. You know, we will active or passively stretch a little bit, but we're actually 15 minutes in going to break and do a little bit of a stretch together. And let's proceed from there. Just super easy, super simple. Just working the old guitar here this morning. So fingers 3 and 4 on frets 10 and 12. You know what's going on. If you're new and you haven't said anything yet in the live chat and you'd like to do that, now's a great time to do so. And it's always a welcoming area. We sort of go out of our way to supply a super clean, upbeat, sort of you know, supportive live chat. And it's just cool. It's cool to do. It's not a difficult thing to do once you decide that you're going to, you know, foster growth or facilitate growth both in your own person and in others. It becomes pretty easy to stay focused on the important things. It is Happy Friday. Jill's in the house. Good morning, Jill. So fingers 2 and 3. How's the dread coming? Is this a project that you stay like actively engaged in, or you still sort of solve some of the other worldly problems too, right? So you still otherwise engaged. So I kind of wonder, how does a luthier who's aspiring to be a luthier begin that journey, you know, and maintain that journey? I suppose it's like anything else, right? You just keep doing it. All right, so I'm looking at today I'm not really sure what I'm going to do at the end of the session today. Usually I have a plan, you know, how are we going to disengage from the warm-up, the actual warm-up process into and move into the sort of like the, you know, moving into the unknown. And I don't have any idea about what it is we're going to do for the last 10 or 15 minutes of the session. I suppose we could talk about how power chords really influence a lot of what we do, you know. It's gonna, you know, I really want to focus specifically on personal growth, though. It's easy to get sort of caught up in all of the other things and all of the other, you know, the allures of, you know, building up the self and making the self sort of better than the other. And I don't know if you follow Rick Beato or not, but Mr. Beato had Mr. Chris Thiele on his show recently on YouTube, and Chris is just, Mr. Thiele is a mandolinist from the, you know, you might know him from Nickel Creek or the Punch Brothers, and he just talks about some really wild and really sort of like, not, I don't know, maybe for some it might be considered out there, but he is just so connected and so well practiced and so well played and so well versed and informed in the body of music around the mandolin, you know, and the history of the mandolin as well. And he's a good sort of representative. You know how Wynton Marsalis is sort of like the representation of modern jazz, and he's the curator of all things jazz. You know, if you ever follow jazz at Lincoln Center, you know Wynton can, he's again very well played, very technical, emotional player, but he basically runs the schoolhouse, and so he's a great representative for the trumpet and for the horn, you know, but his personality is fitting to the horn, you know, the current understanding of the horn and the brass, you know, but I think at the same time, Mr. Thiele's expertise and modernistic, but while embracing tradition, he has this sort of representation of what the mandolin is sort of baked into his person now, right? It could be a very good thing that you don't know yet. It might come to you through the warm-up. All right. Hi, don't say that, Winter. Oh, I missed something, I think. Good morning. Realistic. Oh, Winter. I think I'm missing some things here. Let me come back here and welcome some people. Retire. That's funny. Yeah, retire. Good luck with that. Oh, man. Yeah, good morning, fellas and ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, Robbie, good morning. Good morning, Robbie. Rafi, oh, Sanjay's, yeah, good morning. I can play Sweet Child of Mine, and what a great piece of music that is. So where were we at? Oh, fingers 1 and 4. Right, so here we go on 7 and 12. And if you're new here, if you have a guitar in your hand, then good job for you. If you don't yet have a guitar in your hand and you'd like to learn the guitar or advance your own self with the guitar, this is a good fit. This could be a good fit for you. So stick around. There's likely some things that you might want to check out. And and fold into your daily practice, you know. So if you want, there's also a pinned comment you can see here. You can actually sign up to win a free guitar session, and it's you know, it's a pretty good opportunity for us to get to know each other a little bit more. It's a mutual benefit situation, and we can go ahead and do that. You can sign up following the instructions here. It's very simple, free, and it's not always free, but we're celebrating my, we had a little celebration at the beginning of this week, so I wanted to just kind of expand on that celebration throughout the whole week. So if you're interested in getting together on the internet with you know, a private session with me on the guitar, this is a good opportunity to do that. A really great opportunity to do that. So maybe I'll see you in the email. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at fingers 2 and 3 and 4 and 10, 11, and 12, and we're moving right through, we're just blasting off right through this. We're making our way through the morning ritual for guitar growth. I'm Jason. I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. And that's about to change because I think we're going into Eastern, so right now we're in Eastern Daylight Time. Eastern Daylight Time, and it will become Eastern Standard Time. All right, so that probably will affect some of how we interact with each other, I'm assuming, because I'm going to stick with 7:30 a.m. my time, which apparently, you know, it's unfortunately for the good, or I guess for the better or worse, we go through this daylight process, you know, daylight savings time. Not everywhere in the world does it, so it's we spring ahead an hour and we fall back 1 hour. And it just becomes part of how we live, and so hopefully it doesn't interrupt our time together too much. But if it does, you can always email me and we can work on a plan to figure this out. Yeah, I'm looking up here on the shelf over here. It's my very first YouTube swag. You know what I mean? YouTube sent me a hard good, a piece of swag, and it was for my, I forget if it was my 10,000 subscribers. I don't think it was my 10,000. I think it was after that. But I got this beautiful clapboard. It's a YouTube branded clapboard, you know. And I hope to use it some more. I don't use it that much, but I'll find a way to integrate it because it's a really cool thing to have. You know, we've been sort of slowing down a little bit over the past week because we've been basically redesigning the network architecture here at Jason Carey Guitar, and we're preparing for expanded growth in 2026. So we've been making a few adjustments over the past week, and we'll continue to make those adjustments. The bulk of the adjustments have been made, but as we move through the remainder of Q4 of 2025, and we prepared for 2026 guitar growth, we'll be able to just sort of do a little bit more of this as piecemeal, you know what I mean? Just to not tear the whole system down and rebuild it, but we can now sort of work with the new system and work on expanding and enhancing the new system. So that's the good news. And how's it been going for you? Have you been playing guitar every day, or you've been working on like, what have you been working on? What are the kinds of things you've been working on with the guitar? So fingers 1 and 2 and 4. Outside of the warm-ups, like, are there things like you've been working on, any visiting, or, you know, I'm always interested in what you've been listening to, because occasionally I'll like run out of things to listen to, and I'll just go outside and listen to the foliage, the wind through the trees, or the waterfall patterns, or whatever. But if I'm really interested in what you've been listening to, and maybe what you've been playing, the kinds of things you've been working on. You know, like, how does it fit into your week? You know, do you listen to music in your car? And I know it's sort of, this might be sensitive stuff to ask on the internet, you know, but, you know, think sometimes it's okay to answer things that don't identify us as, persons. Our personal data. Just so fun to do. It just kind of like gives us that flow that we're looking for. Good. All right. So we've got a couple answers here. I think I'm missing some things. Oh, I am missing things. Sorry. Robbie, Mark, good morning. I stumbled onto a holy groove. I've been on that rabbit hole. The guitar playing and songs are awesome in my opinion. Oh, okay. Holy groove. You guys ever just try to find melody and then just see if you can understand the harmony that's unfolding all around it and try to identify that harmony on your guitars? That's just, even if it's one additional string, just putting another string down for your best guess about where that harmony should lay on the guitar. That's a really great exercise because it really tests our ears and our intelligence, and then our Gordon talks about the 7 intelligences. It shapes our spatial intelligence as well. So this is a great exercise to do. Let's go back to the 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll start again on position 9, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And we're just taking it easy. Although we could focus on, I think I'd like to focus on switching between triads. I want to pick a chord progression, I think, and challenge myself to, play some basic triads. We'll start with the 1, 4, 5, or maybe the 2, 5, 1. Or the 3, 6, 2, 5, or the 1, 4, 5, 6 minor, and then we'll take a look at a few different simple closed position triads, I think, coming up. And then what we'll do after that is we'll start breaking them down into inversions, where they're more open-ended inversions. that will sort of, that will align with what we were just talking about, playing melody and finding melody, and then at the same time supporting it with harmonic content, you know, above it, beside it, and beneath it on the guitar. So we'll be able to start talking about, this is really our approach to, you know, chord soloing, or, you know, double stops are a great place to start. But we're going to start with triads today, some basic triadic formats, and we'll take it from there. Let's go ahead and do the 1, 2, 3, 4 stretch. Same thing, and we know we're getting to the top of the hour. When we start approaching the 4 fingers again, we know that we're basically at the top of the hour. So if we start at 7:30, we breathe a little bit, we set our intentions, which could be done whether I mention it or not, and we start warming up once we tune up. And if we stick to 4 beats, 4 attacks per beat at 60 beats per minute, we've found consistently, time and time again, that we arrive at about 1/2 hour later, somewhere in the vicinity of our 4-finger warm-up. After we move through the 2-finger groupings, the 3-finger groupings, and a little breathing exercise, a little bit of tuning, and so we know that we can become in 1/2 hour, if all we have to do is practice 1/2 hour for warm-ups. I mean, this is how far we can get comfortably in 1/2 hour. So this is good finding. To properly play through 60 beats per minute at 4 attacks per beat, we are roughly arriving at a finishing point, a potential finishing point for our morning routine. If all we have time to do is 1/2 hour, if all we have time to do is 5 minutes, that's great. But if all we have is a 1/2 hour, we can rest assured we can make it through all of those permutations, up to and including fingers 1 through 4. Is that Stale Fish? Stale Fish is back. Good morning. It's Friday. Let's work on our sweep picking. Okay, all right. Sweep is good, so we'll bake that into the triadic approach. What do you think about that? Let's work on the C major triads. This will help us to understand all of the pieces of the C major triads. 3 note groupings, 3 string groupings, and because we're talking about Stale Fish's suggestion for sweep, we'll go ahead and use contiguous string groupings, okay? So contiguous string groupings, side by each. No string skipping allowed. Well, thank you for being here and sharing that idea. Hey, Mark. Yeah, good idea for the triads. There's just so much to do here. Let's do the kickstand exercise. So 1 E and a 2. Hey, Blaine, good morning. Good morning, Blaine. You have that same coffee mug? You know, that's a great story behind this coffee mug. It's an actual legitimate pirated piece of gear. So we were outdooring and in the wild, in the wilderness, and we were hanging out in this one location for hours, I don't know, for hours, because we're looking to get fish on, right? And so we're getting pretty fishy with it. I've got my 4-weight line with a, you know, a 2-pound, you know, maybe I don't know, 2-pound tippet. It goes way down low, you know, being in a, probably floating a little, maybe a little gray ghost with a dropper. I don't know if you're following any of my language or not, but but we always get fish on, and once in a while I'll we catch and we release, you know, unless we're in a situation where we need to eat. But we like to catch, observe, and not do any damage, and release. And so we use barbless hooks and all that stuff. So we're packing up for the day, and I saw this, turn around, I see this cup there, and no one has, you know, no one's come to claim it, and so I picked it up and I brought it home and I restored it, and it was in tough shape. It had been there for a while. So this is that mug. It's that mug. So it does a great job, and we went through the whole disinfection process and all that stuff. But you know, you'd never know it was a pirated piece of gear, right? You know, just a it's a great little rig, and I've been really loving it. You know, the simple things. I like to use it because of the memory, you know, and fishing with my boy, my man-child, you know. I love those memories. I've written a lot of songs about fishing, you know. Oh, to the Cannon Bay? Oh yeah, just some really good ones, you know. Just and they're good for me, and it's really really a lot of fun to think about the river and how rivers and streams might work, and then how those kind of fit into songs. A lot of us like to write songs about trains. Steve Gillette, a good friend, he's a wonderful songwriter. He wanted to, he got right into like writing songs about trains and like American Railroad, you know, because people like trains, you know. If you want, there's a really great train that hasn't got much attention. If you're a songwriter and you wanted something to write about, something that, you know, it's a train and it still runs every day. It does this huge mountainous loop. It does this huge mountainous loop around the, I'll tell you where it is. But there are people that live around the train that didn't even know it existed, right? And you get on the train, it's this old train where there's this thing right here, there's like curved walls and ceilings, and it's all glass. So when you go up through the mountainous areas, the mountainous region, you can see all of the alpine zone and all of the alpine area from the comfort and the excitement of your own train seat. So I don't know if anyone's written songs about this train, but this would be a wonderful train to just become aware of, and maybe just write a song about it, write a few songs, write a record about it. The whole region's very, very important region. If you're interested in knowing which train it is, it's in the train in North Conway, New Hampshire. And I heard about it. A friend took the train ride, and he said, "Oh my God, dude, you have to do this train ride. It's like nothing else you've ever seen." Well, I've been all over the planet, man. I've seen it all. And he's like, "Well, not from this train, you haven't." And so really exciting times. Let's just see this. Oh, I think I'm out of battery here. I'll get that in a little bit. Let's come back to now. We've got to come to a stretch. I think we've. Did we do the kickstand exercise yet, or did I talk my way out of it? So let's go ahead and do the kickstand exercise. So fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4, but we're kicking that first finger back now. Could I recommend a guitar lick you should check out? You sure can. The songwriting book came in yesterday. I'm excited to dive in. Oh, did you order it? Good for you. Oh my gosh. You're gonna have, let's stay in touch about that, Mr. Fish. Let's stay in touch about that because it's such a great book, and that will lead, once you set aside some time and, you know, get your timer out, you know, there are all kinds of different methods, but you're gonna love it. Once you start working your way through the book, it's easy to just sort of put it down. So just, Nath, good morning. Just keep in touch with me about it because I think you're really going to enjoy it. I feel like there are a lot of songs coming out of your area, your neck of the woods. So great to hear that you got it. Can't wait to hear more about it. And then we're just wrapping it up on the 1, 2, 3, 4 with the first finger stretch, which we call the kickstand. And I just realized, speaking of kickstand, I didn't see Jill's response on the dreadnought. I am still doing the day job, work a little each night on the guitar. That's how it's done. That's how you get stuff done right there. Very cool. All right, so now we're finished with the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're getting ready for the last 15 minutes. So in about 10 minutes, after we finish up with this diagonal pattern, we're going to talk about closed position triadic voicings, which we can, you know, articulate perfectly and squarely with a sweep picking technique. So we're going to really dial in our sweep techniques today. And this is typically something that I don't do during warm-up session, but this is going to be moving away from warm-up. It's going to be moving slowly toward practice style playing and, you know, moving from the known into the unknown. So if you're interested, if you're new here, welcome. I really appreciate being. All right, so here I was wondering if you were going to come back with that. I figured you would. It's called Stomp by Ben Gallagher. Oh yeah, it's a boot stomping song. I don't know the lyrics, but I learned the intro riff, and it's very fun. So Stomp by Ben Gallagher. That's really cool because I'm not familiar, I hate to admit it, but I'm really not familiar with the song yet. And what I'll do is give it a good listen. And thank you for the reference, you know. Anytime we can listen to something new, it's really important, you know, to especially, you know, since learning music is like 99.9% listening to music, right? That's how we sort of get our ideas, how we become informed on what it is we need to do. So let's go ahead and start. I was looking at this other thing. So I think, you know how we've been working on pentatonics, right? So I wanted to introduce this to you. I've been wanting to introduce this for like weeks, and it's probably something you already do. But it's just so cool. It's just worth talking about. So I'm going to take a look at open string between every pentatonic. We'll start with E minor pentatonic, or, you know, G major pentatonic, of course, or A, you know, what is it? A sus. So we've got 1, 2, 4, 5, flat 7, just shape 3 of the E minor pentatonic. And then we have the B minor with a flat 6, which is really, you know, a really kind of nice altered flavor pentatonic. Trying to hook up with the metronome again. I'm just a little excited, as you can tell, right? So there's that kind of like flat 6 flavor. shape number 4, and then there's this other sort of like D. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, right? So there's this really nice sort of like major 6/9 sort of sound. And then there's this E minor. Anyway, where I'm going with this is I wanted to start with E minor pentatonic. And then because, you know, E minor pentatonic and G major pentatonic use all of the open strings on the guitar, so we can just play that same, you know, G, that shape number 2. You know, but we can use all of the open strings in between the fretted tones. Doesn't really make that big a difference right here in this area, but once we start moving into this area, right, it starts to become interesting. You know, we can start really, you know, benefiting from that kind of work. You know, we can just have all kinds of fun with that, you know. You know, just having fun with it, and it can be an awful lot of fun, you know. See you later, man. See you later, Blaine. We'll get into the triadic stuff in about 3 or 4 minutes. So I'm really glad you popped in. So have a wonderful day and a happy Friday. We'll see you again soon. Take good care of yourself. Yeah, so let's go ahead and just kind of work that pentatonic system real quick. I've got another 3 minutes. I want to just get this underneath my fingers a little bit. And we're starting with C major, and we'll start right here on the top 3 strings. Once we get right back to, we'll get right back to that. And we'll go ahead and get that, you know, open position triad, just so we have a representation of that open position. And then we can play it an octave higher. And then you know, practice this kind of stuff. And you realize that there are other patterns within these patterns. Do you guys work on, do you guys listen to Philip Glass at all? You know, sort of a classical style composer, just his instrumentation and melodic choices are just uniquely his, right? But really cool stuff. And that kind of nicely fits with our approach. I think we're just jump right into the triadic approach right here, right now. Quick, while it's fresh in our minds. So here we go. It's open G, finger 1, and fret finger 1 on the B string. Hey, I'm not sure who's doing that. Someone's thumb is getting wore out. Those hearts, that's cool. Love it. Love seeing it. Open G, finger 1 on fret 1 on the B string, and open high E string. So what we're doing here is just enjoying the grace of being able to play a triad more than one note at a time. And then we do the same thing in position number 5. So before we do that, why don't we just go ahead and get all of these triads of C alone, kind of just, we'll play through each one time and thoroughly enjoy what's going on. So we have the 5, the 1, and the 3. Then we move up to position 3, where we have the root, the 3, and the 5. Good morning. Is that Eleanor? Eleanor, good morning. And then we have the 3, 5, and the 1. Of course, I'm talking chord tones. And then we go back an octave higher above the place from whence we came. So 12, 13, and 12 again, or chord tone 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or sol, fa, mi, re, ra, do, right? So we have the sol, or the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the major scale, root, and then 3. And that's where we find each one of these note names and functions. Good. So G, C, E, or 5, 1, 3. Yeah? All right, so we have to get in tune with the guitar first, as one might imagine. Then we have what we can do now is between the C chord, we can use the 1, 4, and 5 chords. let's do the triad. So we'll start here with the C, and then the F, and then the C, and then the G. So C uses the A position, this is the D position, and then we're back to the A position, and then, which is C, and then the top of the E position, which is the G chord. Yeah, so 1, 3, 5, and then 5, 1, 3 of the F chord, and then 1, 3, 5 of the C chord, and then 3, 5, 1 of the G chord, and then back to this is a great exercise for both the picking and the fretting hand. So we have, if we wanted to let all of the tones ring. Hey, good morning. Eleanor's still here. Yeah, I like music too. Me too. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for being. This is my morning ritual for guitar growth. I start every morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, and this is sort of coming to the last 10 minutes of the session. So I start moving away from warm-up style playing to practice style playing. And this practice right here is basically it's something that I do enough where I could actually incorporate it or fold it into my warm-up sequencing. So we're now playing the C, right? And we could let all of the notes ring. We could all, please play Elvis Presley. There it is. Yeah, I love the cane, So what we're doing is, Bayou, good morning. So really welcome to the morning ritual for guitar growth. I'm Jason. If you would mind, if you're a guitar player, it makes sense to like, share, and subscribe and to this so that you can follow up with me. I'm here every weekday morning on YouTube at Jason Carey Guitar. I do this live stream for the entire year of 2025 where we get together in the mornings and we play the guitar together and we warm up together. So if that's something that you're interested in, I'm focusing on growing with the guitar, focusing on the guitar is a solitary instrument where we have to practice and invest on our own continually in order to grow. What we benefit from is the emotional, the spiritual, the intellectual, the neuroplasticity. There's so many reasons to practice the guitar that I just, it takes a long time to talk it through. And so what I'm doing is I'm talking us through this during my morning ritual. So, please join us. Please join us. I'd be happy to have you here with us, Just an honor to have you here with us. So thank you for being here. So now we're going to move up to, we started here with C, and then we started down here with C, and then F, and then G, right? Now we move from this to this next position, C, F, and G, and then back to C. Now, one thing that we didn't really talk about yet is as we use that finger, this could also be another great exercise to play staccato. you see what I'm doing right here, I'm not letting any of the notes ring, right? Which is normally what would happen in sort of like old time picking or country and bluegrass style picking. But now what we're doing is we're focusing on using this as an exercise, something that we can literally stay on the chord, but break the connection with the string so that we have oh. Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy to play. I'm happy to do a lot of requests, but I typically do that in a different forum. I will definitely listen to the song because it's. I really appreciate new songs. I really appreciate hearing new things, and I'm always. Many of us are always on the lookout to hear new things. So I appreciate you sharing that. Anything that you might be interested in or listening to, I appreciate you sharing that here with us. So thank you. And so what we have here is, you know, even though I'm playing with fingers 2 and 4 and 3, I'm using, it would feel like I'm going to roll this one, and this one, but because we have these out of sequence, I'm going to use this one, and this one. And that can be a little bit of a guitaristic tongue twister. So we can have a ton of fun with this stuff. Did you think of another forgotten classic? More Than Words was a great one yesterday. Oh yeah, I did. I did think of another forgotten classic. So we'll have to. I'm glad that you're keeping up with that thread because. I listened to that a lot yesterday, and there is that thumb slap. But we'll come back to that stuff on Monday, and help me if I forget. Help me to remember to revisit that because I think those are good to have around. Those are really great to have around, and I'm always, you know, always get excited about hearing those things that we haven't heard in a long time, but we know they're in there. And they sound so good. They're little hooks, you know. So definitely let me know if we neglect to get back there on Monday. But that's the intention anyway. So let's take a look at the last shape today. We have C, F, and then G here. Then we had C, F, and then G here. Isn't that a great, you know, that 4 minor 6, that 4 minor 6 just gives you that. gives you that flavor that you're craving, you know. All right, so we have the 3-5-1, and then the 1-3-5 of the F, and then the 3-5-1 of the C, and then where are we going for the G? It's just right behind us, you know. C, and then F. And then we're going up again to the place from whence we came. So C, and then F. And we couldn't really do this one properly in open position, so we'll do it here. All right, Jill, I think I need to, it's about that time, isn't it? Yeah. So Jill is signing us off. And we really appreciate that. And get this really nice little Lenny Bro style harmonic here. Those are a lot of fun to play. And with that, I think we'll be finished for the day. And it is Happy Friday, and like Jill is suggesting, have a super weekend, everyone. And thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate other people doing the tough work and doing the, you know, showing up. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what drives people to do the thing, but I sure am glad to be part of a group that moves the dial, right? I sure am glad to be part of that. So thank you for being here. And Robbie says, have a great weekend. All thanks for your time. Unc, you're more than welcome. Thank you for your time, Robbie. Thank you for your time, Jill. And I suspect we'll see Mr. Haas again on Monday. I think I'm going to have to deal a couple more blue wrenches out so that we can all have time off when we need it. You know what I mean? So anyone who's interested or feels like capable, no pressure. You know, the pay's not all that great, but if you wanted to, you know, have a blue wrench, you could always email me, catch up with me at jason@jasoncareyguitar.com, and just let me know that you're interested or whatever. But you could also sign up, even if you've had an encounter with me before, you can sign up to win a free lesson with me here, and that's a great thing to do. And there are instructions right there. So I would suggest, you know, take a good look at it. It's right here in the link in the live chat, and I think that's where, you know, that's where the rubber meets the road. So I expect that I'll see. I mean, we've already had a pretty good response, and it's just basically here in this live chat and through a couple of other small channels. But it's just a really, really low key sort of like, I want to get to know the people more who have been coming for almost a year now, and it's a way for me to sort of you know, just one way for me to express some gratitude for what's going on here. So sign right up, and we'll see you. We'll announce those winners on Monday. All right, and or the winner on Monday, and we will see you again. All right, I'm out.